RedHotGodzy, come subscribe, like, come subscribe, like, come subscribe, like, come subscribe. RedHotGodzy. Alright, so today I'm going to be making a Black Widow video, basically talking about my rewrites and basically what I would do if I were to change the movie and make it better, because let's be honest, this movie is trash. No, I'm playing, but this movie has a lot of freaking problems, and it's definitely got to be, rewritten, changed, and stuff like that. And I'm gonna see what I can do with it. See if I can. Let me know in the comments. Comment, subscribe, like. Comment in the video. Let me know what you think about these changes, these rewrites. Subscribe and like if you want to see more. You know what I mean? You already know. So without further ado, let's get started. So first off, with characters, I would say Elena. I would make her way less jokey and, definitely more serious, more like, okay, this is my real family. Like, Melina and Red Guardian, I would make it so, like, those two, she really sees them as her real family, and she's really potent on that. Natasha basically is fighting that, so I'm going to get into Natasha later. Natasha basically is fighting, she doesn't really see that as her real family, she doesn't really care about that. Until later on or whatever, but Yelena basically is like really hellbound on calling that her real family. She really sees them in a good light. She really sees all when they were younger and stuff like that as like she sees that as real, like that was real to her, and she's just a little bit more serious. I would dial, like I wouldn't like make her like super like soulless or whatever. I'll just make her, I'll dial it back a little bit, you know what I mean? But overall, like I'll keep, like, for example, the poser superhero landing jokes, but I wouldn't keep like the jacket jokes and stuff like that. Like I would have it there, I'd have the jacket still, but I wouldn't like add all those jokes like, oh my god, I've never seen a jacket before, it's the first thing I bought for myself in my entire life. Like, god damn, like, chill. I would say for Red Guardian, I'll go into Red Guardian next. So for Red Guardian, I would make him entirely less jokey, entirely, because this man makes he makes the worst jokes in the entire movie. Like, this man, it still fits. And then Melina's like, you've gotten fat, and this man's like, oh my god, it's like he's so just giddy and happy sometimes, and he's all like I wish they would have gone into more like him wanting more of like assassin like daughters, like, what I mean? He was happy for what Natasha and Yelena have become, the greatest assassins on the freaking like planet or whatever in the world, and them just being killers and vicious and powerful. He loves that, and I wish they would have gone into that more. What I mean? Just seeing them for what he sees they truly are, and maybe they would like have to prove him wrong in a way, but they're more than that. So that would kind of go into Natasha's kind of not redemption arc, but her just like trying to escape her past and stuff like that, because that's her past, and Red Guardian is basically there to kind of bring it back into her. Same thing with Yelena's less, I guess, less ashamed of her past, I guess you could say. So that kind of fits with the contrast between Yelena and Natasha. So I just think overall that would have worked, and would have improved this character. Also, I would have made him way more powerful, fighting wise, not really just in strength. I think they got that on point, what I mean, like a Captain America like figure. I just think that he just was entirely too weak when it came to like actually fighting the people who matter, like Taskmaster and stuff. Like, I just didn't really feel like he was an opposing threat. I feel like Cap would easily lay him out. Like, he was a Captain America wannabe. Like, it's ridiculous. I even looked at his helmet and stuff. I'm like, this is basically a Captain America wannabe. And lo and behold, he acts exactly like that, and it's annoying. So I just that's what I would do to improve his character. I'm just kind of going over everything, in more of like a fashion of, okay, in bullet points, like what would I do for each character and stuff like that, in each plot point, in each whatever. And that's basically what I would do for some of these. For Melina, I would say I would give her more of like an empathetic side. So, obviously she feels bad for what happened to Natasha and Yelena and stuff like that. But I just feel like overall she's done a lot of bad things, and I wish she kind of would have delved more into that, even more so, and kind of vent like when she vented to Natasha, told her about her mother and stuff like that. I just wish we just got more out of her throughout the movie rather than just that one scene. Also, when she was like effing with that pig and stuff like that, when it was like when she told it to stop breathing because of the technology and stuff like that, of basically the manipulation. I just wish we would have got less of that maybe, or like the contrast, we could have delved into that actually. So some people may like that she was kind of cold-hearted, cold-blooded in a way, and that she didn't really understand or empathize with people or things the same way Natasha and Yelena did. So maybe we could have delved into that more so, like delve into her evil past, rather than in really her like fighting that in a way, rather than her just doing some good things, some bad things, having like one scene where they really talk about stuff and then they just move into the main plot. You know what I mean? Like that one scene with Natasha. I needed more than that. Either way. Now for Natasha, what was supposed to be the most important part of this entire movie, because she didn't get a solo movie like 7 years ago. Like seriously, even this movie could have been made like literally after Civil War. Like that would have been perfect because literally this is after Civil War. So I just wish Natasha felt more important in this movie, and one of those things could be her actually not being mind controlled during the not Taskmaster, during the Dracoff interaction. Maybe like she finds out she actually can't be mind controlled because I don't know, she's a special widow or something like that. Like maybe she broke the manipulation thing in her brain, her, I think it was a cranium or something, her frontal lobe or something. Uh, Maybe she like broke that little chip or whatever it was, and it was like the frontal like nerve or something. So yeah, whatever. I wish she would have like broke that a long time ago, and then we could find out. Yeah, all right. So she's a special widow. You know what I mean? Or maybe they could have done it like she never had in the first place or something. Like maybe like just something like that is what I'm saying. I just wish she was more important as like she. There's a reason why she's part of the Avengers. You know what I mean? Like she's different and she's powerful, very powerful. Um, all right, so for Taskmaster, I'm just gonna jump to Taskmaster. I wish Taskmaster was a guy, you know what I mean, like the from the comics and stuff like that, and I wish it was more accurate. Um, in terms of power scaling, skill, intelligence, just the sheer presence of Taskmaster, and also who the character actually is. You know what I mean? Just I wish there were more Easter eggs, maybe to the comics or whatever, and I could look at that later on, and maybe to like just past iterations or something like that. But overall, I just wish it was just more accurate. Now I'm gonna break it up into guys and girls. So if it was a guy, right, I'm gonna talk about what if it was the male version of Taskmaster. I'm gonna talk about the girl version or female version as well. So I guess I'll talk about the female version just because that's what we actually got. So female version, I would make it so it's still like someone that Natasha almost killed like a long time ago as a kid, but maybe Dracoff kept her unmind controlled. She just was actually fully controlled, and Dracoff was feeding her with all these all this information about Natasha, how she's so evil, and how you need to train to be the best, and she actually is. She's the best in her class or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the best in the Red Room. She's the best assassin, best widow, and so she kind of has an axe to grind with Natasha and stuff like that. Over almost killing her. I would say this would really fit well since Natasha in my version wouldn't be she would be a special widow, so she wouldn't be able to be mind controlled by the pheromones and stuff like that. And overall, she's just more powerful. She can take on multiple widows at once, like she did in the movie. So she's fought aliens and stuff. Like she's freaking fought the Chitauri and the Chitauri 2.0 and freaking Infinity War. Like she's tough. Okay, goddamn. So like I would say it's a good contrast. Like this is what Black Widow would have become if she didn't like have the the sheer will, intelligence to not, and the heart, mainly the heart actually, not to become this villain basically, like which she potentially could have if she stayed in the Red Room. um and that's what she's been fighting. It's like the thing she's been fighting all of this time is the thing that she has to be presented through Taskmaster. And Taskmaster, like I already said, isn't being controlled, so she has full control of her own mind and stuff like that. Except Dracoff, her father, so he's kind of in a way still in control. So she still is still bound by the Red Room in a way. So I just think overall that would have been more interesting than what we actually got, and it would add more of a contrast from Black Widow to Taskmaster. Now, if I was going to make Taskmaster a guy, I would say something along the lines of making him, maybe a former SHIELD agent, and, he was actually sent to stop Natasha, and, they had, they were basically, evenly matched and stuff like that. They had a lot of interactions, but eventually, she was thought to have killed this guy, and, the Taskmaster, and so he actually survived. Maybe Dracoff found him and took him in or something, or maybe he just survived and he swore to. He was just thinking in his mind, oh, Black Widow will rule the day, since she was still with Dracoff and with the Red Room and stuff like that. She was still in control, mind controlled widow. So maybe during that time, he was just training and stuff like that, and constantly just trying to get better and better and better. Or maybe even I'd actually say, once he actually was thought to be killed, Dracoff took him in. Actually, it was like the first, basically like male Black Widow kind of character, or like they had some male agents, and he was like one of the best. So he kind of rose up in the ranks of like soldiers, the male soldiers he had, and they eventually, maybe his his powers, how you can remember all these fighting moves, could still be technological, and maybe it's like a chip in his brain, so that could kind of go back to how all the other widows are controlled or mind controlled. He isn't still, so that kind of creates that contrast with Black Widow and him. But he has the power. He can remember all of her moves, so there's nothing that she could do to stop him. That's why she has Red Guardian, Melina, and Elena to help her out, and so they have to find a way to stop him, and basically he's just a looming threat. What I mean? He is basically this living embodiment of Black Widow's past coming back to haunt her, and something that she really cannot stop. It's not like a widow or anything like that. So I just think overall that whole concept could have been really cool, and I just wish that he was just more of a physical threat. If it was a guy, you already have the girl version, so either or, I think it really would have worked. Like you could do it, man. You really could, even if it was a guy. Let me know what you think about that. I know I rambled a little bit about that, but I just wanted to, kind of get your thoughts on, the Taskmaster portion, because Taskmaster was trash in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. The worst part of the movie it completely ruined the character, in my opinion. Like I gave it like, but I gave it like a 2 to 4. All right, I gave it. If I were to rate Taskmaster themselves, or herself, I would give her a 2. But if I were to rate Dracoff by themselves, I'll give them I'll give Drake off like a 7, low key, 6 or 7. I think it was solid. Um, you know what I mean? I think he covered basically all the boxes. I just think his plan was a bit muddled. You know what I mean? I didn't really understand it, but again, I'll look back at the movie and see if I'm the only one. But yeah, maybe I'll mention another video or something. I don't know. Yeah. The last thing I would change is I would want to see. Well, actually, I'd add this, and that's the red room. I want to see more of the red room and to see everything, from the students to everyday life. I want to see like how they interact. Like in Age of Ultron, we saw a little bit of how they actually interacted with each other. Like, they weren't really like buddy or anything like that. You didn't see anyone really like at schools. You got friends, there. You hang out with people. There's laughter. There's cheering. There's some silence, you know what I mean? But no, it feels more of like a prison almost, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're training, they're shooting guns and stuff like that, testing them out. Uh, Basically, target practice, And it's like, I just wish we had more like training montages and stuff like that, just to see, how it is. Like, what's the food like? I don't know. I just wish we saw more of the everyday life when it comes to being a widow and stuff like that. I just wish that was implemented, just so we could really feel like how much of a pain it is to really be a part of this program, to be mind controlled and to be subjugated to this. Because to be subjugated to this is a pretty horrible thing. They state in this movie. I just wish we actually saw it more so on screen. You know what I mean? And that's basically it for my rewrite. Comment, subscribe, like if you want to just end the video here. But I also have another portion. Just I'm just gonna talk a little bit about how I really feel about the movie overall and just my ending thoughts. So really, I think that this movie really could have been like amazing. Kind of like similar to Winter Soldier. Fight scenes, great fight scenes. You know what I mean? Good characters that all have to kind of do their own part in the story. Fighting. Doing like tech stuff. Even Black Widow's doing tech stuff in the in Winter Soldier and stuff like that. Fury was very useful. I just wish that we didn't have like a bootleg version of the movie though. Like this is literally a bootleg version of Winter Soldier, but just a bad version. I just wish that there was less jokes overall, and there was more of like a connection from Black Widow to Taskmaster. Those are the two things that I really harped on: the jokes and Taskmaster, the connection overall. And I wish Natasha just felt more needed in this movie. She wasn't really needed, other than her connection to Taskmaster, but even that was flimsy. So it's like she wasn't needed. Like, I feel like this was Yelena's movie, and I hope Yelena doesn't really she's obviously not gonna kill Hawkeye. We know she's gonna be in the they're gonna have a Hawkeye TV series, and she's gonna be in it. I'm pretty sure it's not a movie. You can comment, subscribe, comment, subscribe, like, and let me know. Maybe if I made a mistake or something like that. Yeah, but overall, I think it's stupid how no one told her that obviously she sacrificed herself for Hawkeye and for the universe, the entire freaking universe, and now Hawkeye's like basically about to die over. I can't say anything. Like, I can't say he didn't do anything because he killed a bunch of people in Endgame and stuff like that. So that kind of is like effed up. But like at the same time, he helped save the universe. So it's like he did kind of redeem himself in the end, got his family back. So I would say he did his thing. For the most part, he was redeemed. So they're gonna harp on him like killing a bunch of people during that. I already know, because it's like, oh well, Black Widow sacrificed herself. But then he's a killer, so I already know how it's gonna go. But other than that, Yelena's pretty cool. I hope they don't lean too much into the jokes next time with her character, and just make her fun loving and likable without just laying it on too thick. You know what I mean? So Comment, subscribe, like, subscribe if you want to see more, like if you want to support, and comment. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna be making Marvel, Cobra Kai, all that stuff. I'm gonna be making some videos on like Loki and stuff like that, and the other TV series, and more Cobra Kai and more Marvel and DC and all that stuff. So yeah, come subscribe, like, and peace.
No way, Jose.
RedHotGodzy, come subscribe, come subscribe, come subscribe, come subscribe.